Well, one thing I know about West Virginia history is violent safeties get the job done in Morgantown, whether that's Carl Joseph or anybody else. Fred Perry, will you come back home for us? And we got another one coming in that I think you guys are really going to love. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And of course, what is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and I'm your host here. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia. We're after dark session here, but we're not alone, obviously. We're here with the unvarnished truth known as Jackson Johnson.
How you doing today, good buddy? Long time no see. How you been?
Yeah, doing good, man. It's been a little while.
Man, I'm glad to see Cody's doing better, and I'm glad he's back at Locked On Oklahoma State. Thank God that he's doing so much better. And
me too. Yeah, me too, man. I'm glad he's doing better and all that because it was touch and go there for a couple days. We wasn't sure what was going to happen with him, if anything. So he just had to get his meds worked out into a good place where he could take them and not be, because there are some strong meds, not to where he's, interfering with his work. So I think he got it figured out right there.
That's true. And I'm glad you're feeling better, as a matter of fact. I'm glad you're doing better.
Yeah.
I heard you were down bad a couple days ago, but I'm glad you're feeling better, buddy.
Bad. Really bad. But thanks, John. I appreciate it, Jackson. This episode is going to be brought to you by our friends, and we love our friends at FanDuel. And usually we like to say with $5, it's going to make you come holla. But on this one, guys, we just want you to download the app. Go to the website. And I don't know what I said, download the app. It's just a website. And look, football season is around the corner. So visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now. All right, so thanks for making us your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. The number one sports podcast in the country right now is Locked On, 50 million plus views a month, where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. And I thought, you know what? This would be a great time for me to talk about Cam Reddic, safety, Stephen F. Austin, one of the only players I haven't covered for West Virginia, committed just the other day, and I hadn't had a chance to talk about it yet. And I've been saving it till I could actually watch his tape. And I was finally able to spend about 2 hours on it this evening. So I was able to do that. And I really enjoyed what I saw. I wish I would have jumped in sooner because this is a guy, Jackson, that can really go. He's 6 feet, 185. He's a Texas guy, right? From Texas. Makes sense why he went to Stephen F. Austin. So he's a young guy, though. He just got done with his sophomore year. 51 tackles, 5 passes defended, 2 tackles for loss, and a pick. And he played in 14 games where he started 13 of those games. And he probably had around 541 defensive snaps this year. So this is a guy that's on a really, really tight trajectory. And that's legit for any safety, right? I don't think that's fake production. And you look at his pass rushing stats, really good as well. 6 pressures, 4 quarterbacks hits, and a sack. And West Virginia loves safeties who can trigger downhill and affect the quarterback. I think that matters. In his coverage snaps, if you look at what he did across 2025, and his coverage is good. I loved watching him play coverage. 24 targets, only 14 targets allowed. That's a 58% completion percentage. Only 168 yards allowed and 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 3 pass breakups. That is very good. You're gonna give one up here and there. There's nobody goes undefeated unless you're Darrelle Revis. So obviously this is a really good thing to see. Obviously, it's got to translate up a little bit here. Totally understand that. But once you guys see this guy move, do you have eyes? Can you see when a player is really moving fast? Because I can, and this kid really moves. Now, when you look at the alignment and versatility here, the stat distribution for him went free safety 320, box 110, slot corner 93. This is really kind of exactly what West Virginia's been hunting, right? A guy that can play deep, a guy that can fit the run, a guy that can match in space, and a guy that can disguise coverages pre-snap. So this is not a single role safety. This is a multi-tool chess piece that I think can come in and really play multiple spots. You look at the returning safety production at West Virginia, and it's not good. We've really retooled the room, and I think the staff has clearly emphasized the versatility on the back end for safeties who can rotate and do each other's jobs post and pre-snap. And I think those players with real snap counts are going to be the ones that matter, the ones that have done this, right? So I think the box he checks Reddic is multiple alignments, the high snap volume, the PFF verified run defense, the 2 years of control on the back end back there, receiving of Austin. And I think this could be a plug and play guy. I really think he has a chance to break through and play some this year. He's very talented. I don't think they brought him in just to be a depth guy that maybe plays. Now, maybe the curve will take him longer, and that could be. But I think they're bringing him in for now. The role, Jackson, is this. I think he'll be competing immediately or for starting job or heavy rotational snaps. I've got him likely listed as maybe a free safety in the base. He could be a box or a robber type safety as well in pressure packages. You could start him maybe in the slot versus big wide receivers because he is almost 6'1". And then long term in 2027, he would be a veteran safety with some command on the back end, maybe the potential leader of the coverage checks. He could be an anchor piece while other DBs develop for you. What did you think about him?
Oh man, like just seeing some of the highlights of Cam Reddic, he's going to be the key to a top turnaround for West Virginia in 2026. Just kind of like looking at where the West Virginia defense is going to be, it's going to be getting a lot better. And, just looking at the highlights, if you mess with him, he'll chew you up like a chicken nugget, man.
We'll play a couple clips here for you really quick as you'll see him come down and make a nice tackle, get the ball out against Boise State there. Here he's against Montana State in coverage, and watch. He peels off, goes back and he didn't have to do that. He did. He could have stuck with his guy. You'll see it from this angle here. He's not the guy crashing down about the tackle. He's in the back end. And you'll see he peels back there, gets the interception. There's a play against Houston I really like. Here's another play against Boise, and you can see the violence as he comes downhill. Here's against Houston. He's all the way back there 20 yards away from the ball. He's not supposed to be involved here. Watch him come up and just a solid tackle. Like he really tackles well. On film, he misses almost 0 tackles. I watched him for a long time. He missed almost 0 tackles. Like he is a solid tackler. Here he is in coverage. Look at the tackle. Boom. Great tackle.
This guy brings out a genjutsu every time he's on the field, man.
He's definitely a very good athlete. Look at the coverage skill here. I mean, that is perfectly done. You can't do no better. And I get excited watching this guy play. Watch him cut across the middle here. He's got juice. He's got extra juice. He's not struggling to keep up with some of these guys. I really like watching him play, man. Here he comes down and watch him run. Look at those wheels, man. I mean, he caught up to that guy. Here he is on the back end again, doing the Jackson Johnson shuffle. And watch him just break down, get up there, and boom, put a guy completely unconscious. That guy had to sing night, night, put him in the trunk.
Oh, man.
Here he is in the slot. Watch him guarding a slot receiver right out of the slot. Great job. I think Cam Reddic's a guy you're going to be able to bring in this year, and he's going to be able to play in coverage, and that's something that we don't have a lot of safety-wise right now. I'm just going to tell you. So, I don't want to say we don't have a lot of it, but you guys know how I felt about, Kaderi. Like, I don't know what that's going to be like for him coming in from Memphis.
Well, he's going to bring he's going to bring that juicy juice for that West Virginia defense.
That juicy juice. Oh, that's so funny. I've got to change this background really quick. I meant to do that before we jumped on here, Jackson. You distracted me with laughter. But yeah, so this is a guy I think West Virginia's got to be really excited about, man, and somebody that they probably didn't. I mean, look, I looked at some of the teams he was involved with. He was definitely wrong one. He had he had a lot of people after him, so I'm glad West Virginia was able to get him. We just have to hopefully, deploy him correctly, because there are going to people that are going to roll their eyes and say that, he is a, Stephen F. Austin is what are they? Are they FCS or Group 5 now?
FCS.
Yeah, they're FCS.
But they should be a Group of 5 school, in my opinion. I feel like they're going to be there within 5 to 8 years, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're a pretty good football school for sure. But, so it is a jump, and I get that. So I don't want to get here. But, I mean, if you look at, how they performed against Power 4, not too bad as far as, individually and his performances. So that gives you some hope. I mean, the way he performed against Houston was pretty good. Houston just obviously way better athletes across the board. But I do think this is a good pickup for West Virginia. Obviously, he's not the only one. There's another guy that West Virginia is heavily involved with right now that I would like to break down, because I think he's a guy that, I don't know. I talked to him. Let's see, he visited Oklahoma State. I'll tell you when, on January the 18th. So just a few days ago, really. And I thought, God, it seems like it's been a month since I talked to him. It really does. It's hard to believe, but
no doubt. Well, Raven, there's no worries, because it's only 224 days until the start of the 2026 West Virginia football season.
So Dylan Rousey's a guy that, West Virginia's been mentioned along with, and I would love to also get him just to be safe. This is a kid that's 6'1", 193. Man, he can really play. I like him a lot. And he, there's a reason Florida State and everybody wants the kid. He's just one of those ones, man. It's like, could we be so lucky to get him? Like I said, he's got the size. And I would love to, and obviously his teammate, well, you don't know what'll happen, right? He's obviously got some teammates that I think West Virginia may have been looking at, but he's obviously from Murray State. So it's a little bit different, a different type of thing. The racers are obviously similar to Stephen F. Austin. But he's 6'1", 190, 139 tackles though. So, and he's being courted by everybody. So, like I said, there's a graphic out right now that's got him on a graphic with, let me see. Looks like Florida State. That's West Virginia. That's Illinois. Just a few Power Fours. Some other Big 12 schools are on there. And, he's a guy that don't count him out, man. When I spoke to him, he said his head was spinning because he couldn't keep up with how fast things were going for him. So I get it. I just decided to leave him alone, because if it's going that hard and crazy for him, I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? But he's tall enough to play, a bunch of different ways. I think he's kind of trained in the deep field responsibility type part of it and all that. But let's go to break really quick. We'll come right back and we'll look at some more tape on our new commit, as well as talk about the schedule. You wanted to get into it. And of course, we have to talk about our friends at FanDuel right now. And look, when it comes to FanDuel, y'all, we know it, you know it. Everybody knows it. FanDuel is the king. Why is that, though? Why are they the king? Well, it's because they advertise better than everybody else. Using my voice, FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. Every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action. Because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside their app. Each game day, you'll get a pack unloaded with multiple profit boosts that you can apply to the bet you like most. You can open your packs and first thing on game day if you want and see what boosts you want to apply. And then those same boosts you can use to lean into your game day instincts, whether that's backing your momentum, defense, quarterback play, or coaching. The boosts give you more juice on the bets you already like, and then instead of forcing you on something new, you can double down, right? So every play feels bigger, and the boosts make your bets way, way cooler too. If you want to make your picks, you can apply the profit boost to go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling, baby. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your NFL profit boost, your profit boost pack. It's just not easy to say. Every NFL playoff game day. Like, it is one heck of a tongue twister of an ad read. One of the hardest ones I've read. I don't know if it's just my brain can't comprehend NFL playoff boost pack. Like, it's NFL playoff boost pack, right? And it's like saying it over and over in the same read. And it's like NFL playoff boost pack, NFL playoff. And maybe I need to practice it more. All right. So obviously the women played today, and Raven was kind enough to let us all know earlier that the women's team was playing versus BYU today. So that's a game that happened, and it's at halftime currently. West Virginia is winning 41-38. The West Virginia women's team ranked 22nd in the country, 16-4, over the 15-4 BYU Cougars. So that's a game we need to keep an eye on as well, and hopefully they can win that. We can all watch that as we jump off of here in just a few. So obviously getting back into this, though, let's check out the highlights on Reddic one more time, and just to give people a sense of who he is and what he is, and then we'll get into the schedule.
Oh, here we go. For those tuning in on audio, we are watching Cam Reddic bring out some magic on defense and just kind of giving you an upcoming look of what to expect from him when he gets to play on that West Virginia defense heading into the 2026 season, or better yet, what you'll see more of heading into spring practice. All right there on Spotify and all your other audio platforms.
Oh, God. So he's obviously playing deep on a lot of these, and, I mean, that's a great play. It really is. Here he is against Houston. He's on his 35. He comes up, and he makes a play. I mean, the guy breaks into the secondary, and he makes a great hit on the 40. I mean, obviously it's not a great job by their defense, but these are great individual tackles. This one here, I was trying to work out whether he allowed this catch or if it's the person. It's not really his job. I think that's more of a linebacker not getting enough depth. He came up and made the tackle, though. And great job here, too. I love this defense, just really suffocating defense. On the back end, too. Another great job catching up to the ball. And you see it from the other angle from behind. You see, okay, man, he's got some wheels to really catch up. Yeah, on this play. Obviously, the guy's rolling to the right, and then watch him catch up. I mean, just a great job. On the backside here, playing in a cover 2 defense, zone coverage as well, comes up and just lays that dude totally unconscious. That dude's knocked out right there. Here he is playing in the slot, which I love this play in coverage. I mean, he looks like a corner out there sometimes, man. He really does. Does such a great job learning. And I mean, how long did it take you to teach him those tactics, Jackson?
Not very long.
No, in all seriousness, though, we're glad to have Cam on board, and hopefully you guys are too. Obviously, he's got a ways to go as far as learning the playbook and different things. But hopefully, we'll see him on the team later this year and become a fan favorite. From watching that clip there, he's definitely one of mine, and I could see him being, how I was talked about Ben Bogle all last offseason. Ben Bogle was my guy. I don't want to say he's my Ben Bogle yet. I still have to work it all out. Ben Bogle was a guy that nobody saw coming, right? I was the one that kept beating the table for Ben Bogle over and over every day after day. If you're part of this chat, you know it. I don't want to say I was the first person, but I think I was probably the first person. Everybody liked Chase Wilson, and I liked him too. Don't get me wrong. I talked well about all of them, but of all the ones that were from lower levels, I personally felt like, well, based on the tape, Bogle, what he showed on tape, was definitely a guy that you could get production out of. Now, did he end up being exactly what I thought he would be, which was like a all Big 12 honorable mention type guy? No, which is what I said. But I think it's because playing time, the team was bad. The injuries piled up, and, he had a learning curve. He didn't really come on to about halfway through. And then when he did, it was good. And then Arkansas, once we got it, and I don't understand his decision. I've got his number. I could text him, and I don't know what to even say. Like, what business is it of mine anyway? But I would like to, and I would love to know, I just want to be like, man, I supported you more than anybody. In all seriousness, but I couldn't do that. All right, Jackson, the football schedule is out, and no longer is your Alabama Crimson Tide to open. We've replaced you with the mighty Coastal Carolina. What are they? The Gamecocks? What are they?
Chanticleers. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.
Why did I say the Gamecocks?
Oh, it's all good.
I knew they were the Chanticleers. I don't know why I said Gamecocks were. Oh, yeah, it's because they got that chicken doing this.
Yep. Because I really wish in a way the SEC didn't go to 9 conference games, because I knew it was coming, because it meant, Alabama, West Virginia is going away. And I'm like, crap, that sucks. But
right.
You know what? That's okay, because I'm going to make sure I get to a point where I could buy. I'm going to think about buying a PS5 and make Alabama play West Virginia.
You don't got a PS5, Bub?
Huh?
You don't have a PS5?
Nope.
I've got an extra PS5 I could probably give to you. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we'll talk about it if you're talking about gifting it to me.
Oh, man. Well, I will say, just kind of like looking at the 2026 season, Coastal Carolina, West Virginia, that is going to be a fun one, because we're going to be keeping an eye on that game.
Well, they've got a first-year coach, right?
Yeah.
I broke it down whenever I did my breakdown of the schedule. So I have a lot of thoughts on it, but I do want to hear yours. Like, if there are anything,
I want to see what Ryan Beard can bring at Coastal Carolina. Because I'll be honest, he did pretty good at Missouri State, especially.
They were good.
Especially in their first year at the Conference USA.
Yeah.
And now he's leading Coastal Carolina, and he's better than the last guy, that's for sure. So,
who was the last guy? You remember?
Tim Beck.
Oh yeah, that's right. Duh, I forgot.
Yeah. He stunk. He stunk as a head coach.
It's gonna stink.
He made it stink over at Coastal Carolina. But yeah, he made Myrtle Beach zero fun. It was zero fun in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine how easy it would be to recruit to them if they could get to a Power 4? Like,
exactly.
God, it'd be like trying to recruit to Miami, right? Like, just be easy to do. You better hope Coastal Carolina never makes it to Power 4, because they'll be a little juggernaut. And you know what another thing is, Myrtle Beach is a big, especially during the summer, there are like 1 million people in there in a day. Like, I can't tell this story, but Not fully, but there was a point in time in my life where I was stranded in Myrtle Beach for about 3 months. And I had lived there. I had to. I didn't have a choice. And I had to walk around to get around. Like, it was during my time whenever I was, before I was in my recovery days. And it's a bigger place than you think it is. It really is. You got to take the bus. You can't just walk everywhere. But there was a lot of walking. But there was also a lot of just, there's so much beauty out that way. Anyways, we're way off track. Obviously, getting back to the schedule, I'm curious to know, what some other things you wanted to see.
Well, I've got a good feeling that West Virginia can have a pretty good 6-0 start. Just kind of like looking at if they beat Virginia in week 3, because that's going to be the first real test of the 2026 season going up against the Virginia Cavaliers, because Virginia is coming off a once-in-a-lifetime tremendous season in their football program's history. They came up short of the ACC title. It's been it's been like way before Paul or I were born that Virginia has last won an ACC title. But I can tell you right now, they are going to be making sure they've got some say in the ACC like they did this last season. And West Virginia is going to make sure that they can have a pretty good turnaround for 2026. And a Virginia win in Charlotte, North Carolina can be key to a huge turnaround and bigger things to come. And you've got Oklahoma State and Iowa State. We're going to wait and see how Jimmy Rogers will do at Iowa State. I think he can do a great job, but his first year, we're waiting and seeing.
There's no way.
Oklahoma State, same there. Who knows what's happening there? But, it's easier for West Virginia as it's in Morgantown. And you got a pretty good Arizona team coming to your backyard in Morgantown.
Yeah. So
I think it looks pretty good. And, of course, you got Cincinnati coming over to your backyard. So so I'm thinking best case scenario. You could see an unbeaten start, or better yet, a 6-1 start heading into TCU. So it could happen.
I've said it. The main things I had were, you got 7 home games. You got a neutral site game versus Virginia and Charlotte, which is go look up if you're watching this right now, the Duke's Mayo Bowl from 2023. I think it's 2023. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The year before Neil Brown's last year, and West Virginia played North Carolina. Now, it was the North Carolina team that was without Drake May, and so it didn't really count as much. It counted as a good win, but we caught a big break without having to play Drake May, right? Obviously, look what he's doing now. So we won the game and all that. They played a new quarterback that just didn't work out, and we really kind of ran away with it. And Neil Brown got Mayo dumped on him, but it's neither here nor there. We outdrew North Carolina in Charlotte 80-20, maybe 90-10. Might have been closer to 90-10. Am I exaggerating anybody? Like, it was one of the biggest outdraws ever I've seen. And Charlotte is the second home base, basically, or one of the home bases of West Virginia alumni. And so there's just a strong group of people down there that West Virginia is, at the very worst, it's going to be 50-50. There's no way Virginia has more. The only reason I think Virginia is going to travel well, they don't historically. So if it was any other year, I would say, maybe they'll have 70-30 us, but they're coming off an ACC championship game, right? Mm-hmm. So did they even win that? I don't even know.
No, Duke beat Virginia in the ACC title game, and Sean McDonough threw out his puberty voice over the game clinching pick from Duke.
Oh, God. Let's go to break really quick. We'll come back and finish the schedule up with Jackson Johnson. All right, guys, talking about our friends at TurboTax. Talking about TurboTax on this one. All right, so when it comes to TurboTax, the tax season doesn't have to take over your life, man. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever just to hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax full service, you can have your home's taxes done for you by a trusted local expert, start to finish, without the stress or guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out forms, you can meet with your local TurboTax expert in person or connect online. You can upload documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the middle of the TurboTax app. So it's a huge time saver and gives real peace of mind knowing an expert is handling it. For an unlimited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in. If a TurboTax expert didn't file for you last year, just file by February 28th, and you can get your tax written off your plate and back into your life. Visit turbotax.com/local to book your appointment today. All right, guys, we back. Thank you so much.
7-3 as we are free for 7-3.
7-3.
Yep, we are home free for 7-3.
What do you mean?
Oh, I think it's something that rhymed with 3.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought that you were giving us a prediction to the schedule. I was like, well, okay.
Oh man, yeah, but yeah, just kind of like go back over it. Cincinnati feels like an easy win for West Virginia because that's not a team that's going to be competing for the Big 12, and they're heading over to Morgantown. They're going to put it on TNT for a reason because number one, they know drama. But no, in all seriousness, though, that'll be a cinch for West Virginia. But Iowa State, just call it looking at it, letting it sink in. Arizona's a Big 12 contender, but Iowa State looks like a trap game. And TCU, it's basically put up or shut up time as to whether they're going to head back to the Big 12 title. And then you got that bye week, where you can just sit and chill on Halloween, watch some college football on Halloween night, and just kind of like entertain trick-or-treaters or at the trunk or treat or whatever. But also November 7th, you have to go to Texas A&M at Lubbock, Texas. That's a scary place, my friends. I feel like that game is an automatic loss, especially when you got Brendan Sorsby being at Texas Tech. You're in big trouble, my friends. I mean, Texas Tech.
I don't know if it's an automatic loss. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't say automatic loss, but I would. I mean, should we be favored to lose the game? Absolutely, no doubt about it. But automatic loss is a little too far for me. They haven't earned that yet. They had one really great year, and the way they did that was unique. I don't know. I want to see if they can continue that, because last year everybody front loaded their salary, and
True.
Texas Tech just happened to do it bigger than most. I wish West Virginia would have, but they didn't. So, they got what they paid for, and they invested correctly, and they made all the right evaluations. So you have to trust they'll do the same thing this year. I would, and I don't think they're going to drop far off. Don't get me wrong at all, but I do think that West Virginia should be in a better spot to compete. We'll see. West Virginia really upgraded their O-line. That's one of the things they wanted to do, and I think they did it. But to your point, Jackson, absolutely, it's going to be. There's no way that it's not an incredibly tough. Yeah.
True.
I mean, it's like I give it an 8 out of 10. It's not like going to Ohio State. You know what I mean? It's not like going to Penn State either. But I mean, it's tough. It's if West Virginia was ranked in the top 5, I don't even think it would be as hard as that. Milan Pushkar Stadium, when it's rocking like that, is God. Those days feel like they're so long ago. All right. So obviously you go. Here's one thing that I didn't mention to you, Jackson. 8 straight home games, or I'm sorry, 8 straight games to open the season without a bye.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it's not too late to move on.
Could we be a chicken nugget by week 8?
Nah, I think West Virginia will be all right. I think they're going to be all right this upcoming season. 2026 is a lot better than 2025.
So you don't think Oklahoma State's going to be something to worry about, huh?
Well, I wouldn't say not something to worry about, but I think West Virginia can beat them. And just looking at Kansas, I think that's a toss-up, but I think West Virginia can win that one. And, West Virginia beat Houston at Houston last year. Now this year, they're coming to Morgantown.
That's why I don't get scared of Willie Fritz.
No.
He ain't proved to anybody yet.
Yeah,
we beat Houston.
Well, he's not proven diddly do.
No, we beat Houston and we beat Cincy.
So there you go. But to round it out, and I don't like that West Virginia-Utah rivalry is on rivalry week, but oh well. That ship is
We're going to smash their faces in. We're going to give it back to them like they gave it to us last year, which was they just slammed damn Pierre down our throat and we had to like it. It was rough.
Yeah. But I mean, you're going to Utah. That is usually pretty a scary place.
Yeah, it can be. It depends on how good they are. I mean, they lost a lot of guys to Whittingham and Michigan. So, I mean, he took a lot from their roster, a lot of staff, a lot of continuity, a lot of their players. It's just been the same. We'll see how they react. Morgan Scallywag is going to have to figure it out.
Yeah.
You scallywag.
Scallywag.
Jackson Johnson, tell everybody where they can find you really quick before we jump out of here, Bob.
Well, before I head out, I will say that I could see West Virginia having a 9-3 season.
I forgot to ask you.
Yeah, so that's my ceiling for them. Because I think Texas Tech, Utah are losses, but I as of right now, but that could change, because the summer is coming. I'm counting down to preseason magazine time, but of course. I think that 2026 can be really good for West Virginia. We'll just have to wait and see how they do against Virginia in week 3. But always remember, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because week 3 is not the be-all, end-all. Because there's plenty of football for 2026. And I'm crossing my fingers to see those Mountaineers make it to March Madness this year for the men's basketball team and go women's team against BYU. And I can just tell you right now, you can check me out on Alabama with the Voice of College Football as Trevion Ware, Jeffrey Only Talk Sports, and myself go live Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But we sometimes go live on a random day here and there, especially when there's breaking news, like Chris Kaplevik parting ways with Alabama as the offensive line coach, and Alabama's looking for an offensive line coach, of course. And you can check me out on SEC at the Voice of College Football Mondays, Wednesdays, and anytime there's breaking news. And of course, check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I host my show, The Jacksonian, getting close to episode 100. And for more updates, what I've got going on The Jacksonian, Alabama at the Voice of College Football, SEC at the Voice of College Football, or appearances with Mountaineer Paul for Jackson's World College Football. And once week calls on the Feinbaum Show, check me out on Jats Video. Should be on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads. Jackson Johnson 543-908.
All right, man. Guys, appreciate y'all for being here tonight. Drumwolf, if you want to be a moderator, let me know. I think you've definitely earned that, right? You know what I mean? You have Jackson. Actually, you have too. So I'll probably add you both as mods. And some others if they would like to. I need to add a couple more moderators. So just let me know if that's something you're interested in. Okay, well, I'll add you tonight. And that way, because we've got a few people that just don't show up as much anymore, or maybe it's after the fact, which is fine. That's no pressure on them. Nobody has to show up, but we'd like to have a few more in here, other than you guys all the time that are always in here. All right, guys, I appreciate you for being here. Like I said, we will go ahead and bounce out and see you guys on the next one. I'll probably be back tomorrow morning, but you never know with the snow and everything, guys. So just if I'm not online, you know why that is. So we'll definitely do our best to maintain, but you never know. It's going to be a bad snowstorm coming in tonight and later on. So have a great rest of your night, guys. For Jackson, from me, this episode's over, and we are out of here.